Your life if you invested $5 a day. It is 7:15 in the morning and you are standing at a counter with your phone already open. Grande Caramel Something. Oat milk. One shot of whatever makes the morning survivable. $5.47. You don't think about it. Nobody thinks about it. $5.47 is the price of not having to think about $5.47. You tap your phone. The cup appears in 11 minutes. You drink half of it in the car. The other half gets cold in the cup holder. By the time you reach the office, you cannot tell you had it. That is the entire point of the Grande Something. It is calibrated at exactly the price point where your brain decides not to get involved. Smart company. Genuinely. No notes. Now hold that $5.47 in your mind. Round it down to $5 because we are going to do math, and $5.47 is annoying. This is a story about the same $5 every single day for 40 years, and about the two versions of you it quietly builds without telling you which one it's working on. You are 25, it is the next morning. Same counter, same chain, same size that is not a size. This time you walk past it. Not dramatically. Nobody turns around to watch. The baristas do not notice. The universe does not acknowledge the decision. You get in your car, open an app, and move $5 into an index fund. The whole market. One button. No opinion required. The screen says your balance is $5. It looks like a typo. It looks like you entered the wrong field. You feel slightly stupid, like someone who just planted a single seed in an empty field and is already Googling harvest schedules. There is a stock tip in your group chat at that exact moment. Your friend has found a company. A small one. It sells something. It's up 60% this week. You put your phone face down and set the $5 to leave automatically every morning so you never have to feel the decision again. $152 a month moves out of your account towards something you cannot touch. You barely notice it's gone. That was always the strange thing about the $5. It disappeared either way. You just changed where it was going. You are 26. A full year has passed. The balance is $1,920. You put in $1,825 of your own money. The market added $95 while you slept. $95, which, to be fair, is about 17 Grande Somethings. You mention it at lunch once to your coworker, Derek. Derek is a good person. He asks how much you've made. You tell him. He does the math in real time on his face. $95? He says. I make that in a slow afternoon. He is not wrong. Derek buys lunch out every day, a coffee in the morning, a snack from the machine at 3 p.m. It all adds up to about $5 a day, scattered across small pleasures he cannot name individually later. You say nothing. You close your phone. The difference between you and Derek this year is $95 and a habit nobody can see. The $95 is not the part that matters. Derek is also not the part that matters. Derek is fine. Derek is enjoying lunch. Derek orders the burger. It looks good. You have genuinely no moral high ground here, and you both know it. The habit is the part that matters. The $95 is just the first sentence of a very long story. You are 30, 5 years in. The balance is $11,400. You contributed about $9,125 of it. The rest appeared out of time. More than $2,000 that you never earned, never worked an hour for, never noticed arriving. You do the math one night and realize this is the exact dollar equivalent of every coffee, every impulse snack, everything you bought in a parking lot without intending to since you were 25. Meh. Except instead of existing as a memory of something warm that you've already forgotten drinking, it's in an account with your name on it. Same month, a friend texts you a screenshot. A coin. A ticker you've never heard of. Up 380% in 6 days. He's put $3,000 in. He tells you to stop being boring, that your index fund makes in a year what his thing makes before lunch on a good Tuesday. He is right about the speed. He is wrong about the direction. You've seen this shape before. On a screen, next to an arrow pointing up with a number that has a percentage sign after it. The promise that something small becomes something large immediately with no time required in between. You grew up calling it a scratch ticket. The financial industry gave it a different name and a better app interface, but the mechanism is the same. You text back that you'll pass. He sends 4 laughing emojis. 3 months later, the coin is down 91% and he has changed the subject. You keep doing the most boring thing a person can do with $5. You keep being so uninteresting about money that the money has no choice but to grow quietly in the background while nobody watches. You are 35, 10 years in. The balance is about $31,700. You've put in $18,250. The The market has handed you $13,450 for the crime of doing nothing. Then the year turns and everything goes bad. The market drops. Not a little, a lot. Headlines use the word crash. Your balance falls 30% in 2 months. On paper, you have lost more money than you earned all year at your actual job. Derek, who finally started investing last year after the lunch where you told him about the $95, sells everything at the bottom. He tells you he saw it coming. He is in cash, safe. You don't sell. But it is softer than a decision. It is the absence of one. You simply don't open the app. You put the phone in a drawer and let the $152 keep going out the door automatically, buying the same fund while it is cheaper than it has been in years. You are not brave. You are not a visionary. You are just too lazy to open the drawer, and it turns out that laziness is one of the highest performing strategies in modern finance. When everyone agrees it is safe to come back in, 6 months later, when the recovery is already underway, your boring habit has already bought the bottom that nobody could see because everyone was too busy watching the headlines to notice what the prices were doing. You are 45, 20 years. The balance is $119,200. You have contributed $36,500 across 2 decades, $5 at a time. The account has more than tripled your money on its own. For the first time, something mathematically strange is true. The money the market gives you in a strong year is beginning to rival what you put in by hand. Your account has quietly taken a second job you never assigned it. The reunion is that summer. Someone pulls up in a car that costs more than you earn in a year. It is leased. Someone else talks loudly about a watch. Neither of them is doing anything wrong. Derek is there. He is good. He has moved on from the coin, mostly. He still buys lunch out. He still gets the coffee. He asks, half joking, if you ever did anything with that little investing app. You tell him you stuck with it. He asks how much is in there now. You tell him. A particular silence arrives that you did not ask for and do not enjoy. You change the subject to sports because sports is a topic that exists specifically for moments like this one. The $5 was never loud. It is the only thing in the room that never needed to be. You are 55, 30 years in. The balance is $345,000. You've put in about $54,750 total across 3 decades in increments small enough to lose in a couch cushion. The other $290,250 was never yours to earn. It was time's, and you simply gave time the room to do its work without getting in the way. This is the year the math quietly flips for good. In a strong year, the account now grows by more from its own size than you could add by doubling your contributions. You have become a passenger to your own balance. The thing you built is now bigger than the building of it. You do not tell your kids. You do not tell your coworkers. You do not tell Derek. The number lives in a place no one looks, which is exactly where it was able to grow this large. The coffee you didn't buy at 25 is compounding in silence at 55. You are 65, 40 years from the morning you walked past the counter. The balance is approximately $975,000, nearly $1 million. Sit with the breakdown because it is the entire story in 3 numbers. Of that $975,000, the amount you personally contributed, $5 a day for 40 years, is $73,000. The other $902,000 is growth. Money you never earned, never worked an hour for, never noticed leaving, and never watched arrive. For every dollar you invested, time and a boring index fund returned $12.30 on top of it while you were doing other things. You did not get lucky. You did not pick a winner. You did not time anything. You skipped a Grande Something 14,600 times in a row and let the smallest possible amount sit in the most boring possible place for the longest possible time. That is the entire mechanism. There is no second secret. No version of this where someone hands you the $902,000 faster. The slowness was the price. Derek retires the same year you do. Same job, same salary, the whole way. Good man. Never missed a day. He spent his $5 a day on 14,600 mornings of coffee, lunches, and small pleasures he genuinely enjoyed and cannot point to now. Over 40 years, Derek's $5 a day also totaled $73,000. The exact same money. He drank it, ate it, lived it. Neither of you did anything wrong. You and Derek stood at the same counter for 40 years. Same $5 in the hand. Same evenings. Same choices. He has a lifetime of good mornings and a pension. You have those same good mornings, mostly, and also $975,000 sitting behind your life like a person who has been working the whole time without asking for credit. Nobody can point to the morning the two of you split. There was no morning. There were just two different answers to the same tiny question, asked again every day until the answers stopped being choices and became two different lives. Somewhere right now, it is 7:15 in the morning and someone is standing at a counter with their phone already open. Grande Caramel Something, oat milk. One shot of the thing that makes the morning survivable, $5.47. They will tap their phone, the cup will appear, they will drink half of it in the car, the other half will get cold in the cup holder. By the time they reach their destination, they will not be able to tell they had it. They are not doing anything wrong. $5 is nothing. That has always been the trap and the door at exactly the same time. The $5 is too small to matter, which is precisely why almost nobody keeps it, and precisely why it quietly decides almost everything for the few who do. You were never going to feel the $5 either way. You only ever got to choose what it was turning you into while you weren't paying attention. $975,000, built from the coffee you didn't drink, $73,000 of your money, $902,000 of time's money. The math was never complicated. The patience was the hard part, and patience is free. Before you go, drop a comment right now, subscribe, and share with your friends or someone you think will benefit from this video.